For a long time it looked inevitable that China's GDP would surpass that of the US, but now many economists are not as sure anymore. There are a number of problems that China is facing economically, and many are self-inflicted. Even though China has almost 4 times as many people as America, China might not be able to get a larger economy than America. For most periods in history, China has had the largest GDP in the world, meaning it was the world's richest country, largely because it had more people than any other country. This changed by 1890, when the US emerged as the world's largest economy. Now, after over 130 years, China is looking at taking back the throne. And to do this, the GDP per person in China would only need to be about a fourth of what it is per person in the US. America is still the largest country by GDP. In 2021, the US economy measured in at $23 trillion, while China's GDP lags behind at $17.7 trillion. On average, the US grows its GDP by 2% each year, while China grows its by 7%. This would look like a clear path to China's GDP soon surpassing America's. So why do some economists think this will not happen? There are 4 main problems that make China's economic future look worse compared to America's. The first 3 can be seen as short-term problems that could be fixed, while the last one is more fundamental and arguably the most important one. The first problem is China's zero-COVID policy. To be able to keep COVID numbers as low as possible, China responds to every outbreak of the virus with severe lockdowns, like the 2-month lockdown in Shanghai. During these lockdowns, a lot of people can't work and spending goes down, which creates a drag on the economy. The second problem has to do with China's tech sector. It has been hampered both by the aggressive internal regulation from China's government, but also by a continuing tech war with America. This has made China's tech stocks decrease in value tremendously from their earlier top. The third problem is China's faltering housing market. It was once a symbol of incredible growth of China's economy, where people could see their net worth increase immensely from owning a home. But today all of that is crumbling. Property developers sold apartments that were not finished to get money to be able to finish other houses they had already sold, meaning that to finish all the buildings they had sold, they needed to get money from new buyers. So when they could not sell enough new properties to cover the costs of what they were building, they could not pay the builders anymore, and people were left with having bought an apartment that might never be finished. This housing market collapse will hamper the real estate market growth, which is one of the largest sectors in China. The fourth problem has to do with China's workforce declining faster than the workforce in America. This causes problems in the longer term, because with less people working, it makes it harder to grow the output of a country. It is projected that China's workforce could shrink by 15% over the next 15 years, which is much more than what is expected from America. These 4 things will inhibit one aspect of growing an economy, more specifically, making an economy more productive. But there are 2 often forgotten ways to also grow your economy. The first way is that prices in China increase. If Chinese products converge in price and become closer to the price of American products, they would grow their GDP without producing more stuff. The second way is with exchange rates. The way we today compare China's and America's GDP is by converting China's GDP numbers from yuan to dollars. So if the yuan becomes worth more compared to the dollar, China's GDP would increase. Even though many economists are not so sure anymore, China might still surpass the US in GDP. China could do it with a combination of increasing prices, having a stronger exchange rate, and producing more At the same time, the policy decisions are not too bad. But with recent trends, it seems more and more unlikely.